Yes, you absolutely are receiving divine signs and divine guidance. Yes, signs are absolutely real. Yes, synchronicity is not random and it's not just a coincidence. Signs and synchronicities are part of the freaking mind-blowing, amazing magic and miracles of our reality. I'm completely obsessed with it. I'm really committed to you realizing that there are unique divine signs and synchronicities guiding you on your path to live your purpose, to connect with your soul, to deeply reconnect with the source, oneness, God created divinity that you belong to, for you to have help to overcome your challenges and obstacles, to gain mastery in your soul lessons, for you to align with your highest potential, for you to step up and step into your soul purpose, your life purpose, your contribution. Signs and synchronicities are real, they're happening for you, and they are very specifically guiding you into your high potential for this life. Why? Because that is why you're here. You were born onto the planet with plan and purpose. And your soul and life itself, what you can call oneness, source, divinity, creator, God, universe, is 1000% invested in loving you, nurturing you, waking you up to it, guiding you forward into it, helping you overcome whatever you face, and loving you right into the fullness of your expression, which means living a life you love, feeling fulfilled, seeing the magic, having joy.
You're listening to Practical Spirituality with B, the podcast with spiritual advice for your everyday life, helping you align with your soul so you can live with purpose, fulfillment, and magic. I'm Bernadette Logue. You can call me B, and I'm excited to share this episode with you.
Welcome to this new episode. I'm so excited to share this topic with you because I've just been buzzing out in a really big way with one of my sisters about the coolest array of signs and synchronicities that have been happening. And I just have to say that it's been 13 years since I first discovered the truth that divine guidance, signs and synchronicities not only happen, but they're very unique to you. And it is literally the universe trying to get your attention and to love and help you. It blows my mind so much I have not shut up about it for 13 years. I've written books about it. I've made programs about it. I'm still teaching about it and helping people. Because it is literally the frickin' magic. Like, it is magic and it is miraculous. And if it does not blow your mind, where are you and what are you doing? Because here's the thing. When we're kids, we have so much magic in our lives and we believe in magic and we believe in, like, you know, that good, juicy part of life. And as we grow up and become adults, we just lose connection to it and we get into the humdrum. And so many people I meet don't have that sense of awe and wonder and curiosity and inspiration and magic. And it's like it gets dulled down in us and life just becomes like this boring, flat, grey surface level. And yeah, we have nice things in our lives, but I'm talking about like the blow your mind, life is magical feeling, okay? And when I attuned to this part of life, that is exactly the feeling I got, and it kind of hasn't gone away. So as I was buzzing out with my sister about signs and synchronicities, I thought to myself, well, why don't I buzz out with all of you too? Because that would be sharing the love and sharing the joy. So in this podcast episode, I am going to share with you why we get signs and synchronicities, the types of ways that they can show up, and I'm going to share with you my very personal example, which is quite personal. I've shared it with the beautiful people in my Soul Odyssey community inside our members area, but I thought I would also extend and share this personal story with you as well, because it's inspiring. So I want you to feel the juice of it, and I want you to awaken to this goodness in your life. So signs and synchronicities, you can consider it like messages from the other side, messages from beyond the veil, messages from the unseen. Now you could say, where's it coming from? Well, we can say it's coming from the oneness, right? So divine one consciousness, God creator universe, your higher self, your soul, being all connected as one big bundle of goodness. And you are here in a body with a mind and a personality inside what I call the dream of life. 3D reality with probably most people not a lot of really visible, tangible evidence of something beyond this physical reality. And so many people in my community and those of us who are on the spiritual path have a real thirst and hunger for evidence of the other side and of divine guidance and, just feeling that true level of support that we are more than our mind and body and that life is more than what we see with our two eyes. So I like to think of signs and synchronicities almost like the divine realm winking at us and just getting us to remember that what we see is only one reality and it's not the total reality. But there are, after studying this for 13 years, and when I say study, I mean I documented for a solid 2 to 3 years every sign and every synchronicity I got in my life and where it led me when I followed the divine guidance, which is what formulated my first 2 books. So I am all about it, and I have studied it, and I have looked at it in other people's lives, and I've helped them interpret the signs and synchronicities in their lives. And there are really common themes about why we get signs and synchronicities. So I'm going to share about 4 or 5 reasons with you right now. The first one is really awesome, and it's quite an obvious one. We get signs and synchronicities to help confirm to us that we're on the right path. So really common human condition is doubt and fear and second guessing yourself. So if you're trying to do something in your life, you're setting a goal, you're making decisions, you're trying to go in the direction that you think will serve you best, maybe you're outside your comfort zone or you're dealing with a challenge, sometimes you need a little confirmation that you're on the right path just to help you drop the second guessing and the doubt. And sometimes signs and synchronicities will show up for that reason. Another reason you can get signs and synchronicities is this, and this really does blow my mind. You can have questions and you don't have answers, and signs and synchronicities will come to literally give you the answer. Like, not mysterious, not hard to interpret, not like a general loving pat on the back kind of sign. I mean like an actual answer. Like you're needing an answer and the answer drops into your life specifically and clearly. The third reason we can get signs and synchronicities, and I find this one fascinating, is they can come as a mirror to reflect to you the issue that you need to be aware of inside of yourself or in your life in order for you to break through and evolve. So if you've been in my community for a little while, you'll know a little bit about our soul plans, our purpose, our soul lessons, and that we are here to learn, heal, and grow. Okay, so you have very unique soul lessons that you're here to learn. And sometimes, maybe, perhaps if we're struggling, perhaps if we're not really getting it, or we need to be woken up, signs and synchronicities can come to literally act like a reflection of our own self back to us. So life will mirror to us the thing we're doing, or mirror to us the root of an issue, so that we can be aware of ourselves more objectively and then we can do something about it. So sometimes we don't realize we're running a pattern, we don't realize what the true root issue is, and we're kind of struggling along with dealing with symptoms. And that this is where we can kind of get a level of soul clarity by getting divine guidance that will help us see more clearly. The fourth reason we can get divine signs and synchronicities to guide us is as a little bit of a wake-up call. Say we are asleep at the wheel of our life and we need to snap out of it. We need to either wake up to get out of a situation, wake up to opportunity, whatever it might be, and life is trying to give us a nudge, right? A nudge to open our eyes. And that can be a nudge that doesn't feel very comfortable, or it can be a nudge that feels exciting and filled with opportunity. But little signs and synchronicities can come to try to get your attention about this, okay? The last reason I'll share with you today, and there are others, but the last one I would say here is that you can often get signs and synchronicities as loving support, and that's all it is. It is a reminder that you are loved. It is a reminder that you are held, supported, that you're being nurtured, that you have a whole team in the unseen realm that is loving you, cheering you on, is completely dedicated to you thriving in your life. And that while you can't see that, that does not mean it is not there. And so sometimes you'll get a little wink, a little nudge to remind you. So those are some of the reasons we get signs and synchronicities. And what are signs and synchronicities then? How is this divine guidance showing up? And then I'll share with you these examples that have been blowing my mind. So, signs and synchronicities. There can be so many different ways they show up. Really common ones are things like dreams that you have, right? So you get, and they're not dreams that are coming, fearful dreams from your subconscious. They are prophetic dreams. I've had prophetic dreams. They can be dreams where you're shown information, wisdom, soul clarity through the experience of dreaming. It can come through the form of visions. So when you're in what I call the drift state between sleep and wake and sleep, so first thing in the morning and last thing at night before you go to sleep, you often, when you're drifting, you can end up having visions. If you've got your mind really clean and you've cleaned up your mind noise and you've got yourself soul aligned, you'll notice you start having increasing visions happen for you. And often there can be divine wisdom comes through in that space because your consciousness is at a state and a frequency where you're clear enough to connect in with that frequency, okay? If you're interested in getting yourself soul aligned and you're thinking, that's not me, my mind is really noisy, then come over and visit me at my website, bernadettelogue.com, and click on the program for the Soul Odyssey program, and you'll get everything you need to get yourself aligned and get into alignment with your soul, with source, with divine guidance, and get on track with your soul's highest potential. Other ways that signs can show up in your life, this one is really, really common, and it's happening for everyone all the time, and most people aren't attuned to it. And it's going to sound really kooky and quirky if you are not aware of this, okay? But stay with me. If you notice a song playing in your head, and you haven't heard the song on the radio, and you haven't been playing it on your Spotify, and you haven't been singing it to yourself proactively, but out of nowhere, for seeming no reason, a song, a melody starts playing inside your mind during the middle of the day, maybe during the middle of the night, maybe when you first wake up, you want to stop and look up the lyrics of that song and see what the lyrics of the song, the name of the song, who wrote the song, the general whole theme of it, what that has to do with what's going on in your life right now. It is like the other side are so smart and they're like, okay, we're going to use songs to communicate messages to them while they're down there in life doing their human being thing. And the number of times, it's just countless, that I've had a song and the lyrics have been so specifically accurate to what I'm dealing with in my life. It's like all the people that write music and write songs in the world have written all the songs that spirit could possibly need to communicate with us, to give us divine guidance. And it's not just me, it's like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people all over the world who constantly tell me it happens for them too. So that's a really interesting one. You can also get things like animal totems. So animals have a certain energy medicine and a certain message to share. So when we have animals show up in our visions and our dreams and our daily life just randomly, and we notice a repeating instance of these animal totems showing up, they each have a message, and that message has divine guidance for you to help you in your life with whatever's going on in your life at that time. Other things that can happen are synchronicities. So you might just notice, well, this was really weird. It's like I was thinking of that and then this happened, or this person said that, and then later in the day I noticed the exact same message coming up in a different form. Yes, when you notice repeating words, repeating messages, repeating themes, seemingly random synchronicities, what you want to do is pause and say, I wonder if this was significant for me, then how would it relate to what is going on in my life right now? The best way to deal with signs and synchronicities is to say, what is actually going on for me in my mind, my emotions, my relationships, my money, my career, my goals? Like, how is this potentially related? But in a playful, curious way. Don't do the obsessive thing that I used to do, where you get totally obsessed and you analyze it to death and you're trying to figure it out, and now you've made the magic and miracle of life into a monotonous, strugglesome job. Don't do that. Other things, the ways that you can get divine guidance. Again, this will happen if you've cleared up your consciousness and you've quieted your mind and you've quieted your emotional state, which simply means you've gotten yourself soul aligned, okay? The more we calm our mind, create an emptier mind, open our heart center, our heart chakra, become very centered within ourselves, get more connected to source and soul, which I can help you do all of that. So don't be worrying there like you don't know how to do that. Just come to my website, bernadettelogue.com, join Soul Odyssey now. I'll have you sorted, okay? But once you get in that state, you can have words, single words or statements just arise in your awareness. So it's like someone has just said something to you, but it's not a human being saying it to you. It's somebody saying it to you inside your mind, and it's not your own thoughts. So, for example, in the middle of the night, multiple instances, I can think of like about 6 months ago, I was really struggling and I woke up at like 3 a.m. and there was just like one word loud and clear being said to me. And it was telling me what to do. It was telling me what was going to serve my highest good. And the thing is, we don't abdicate responsibility for our life to signs and synchronicities. And I've seen a lot of people when they're really desperate for answers and they're feeling really unsure of themselves and doubting themselves, they will abdicate their life to signs and synchronicities. They'll say, well, I'm not going to do anything till I get a sign, or I got a sign and I followed it and it must be right, so I don't know why things aren't working out for me. That is not what your life is about. You didn't choose to incarnate, to have free will, and then to sit and do nothing and wait for life to tell you what to do. That would never serve you, and your soul and source do not want that for you, because that would ruin the opportunity of your life that you chose to come here for. You signed up for a soul journey, being a human being, so you could learn, heal, grow, contribute, evolve. And all of that happens through your free will interaction with life and through your co-creative partnership with life, which means divine guidance will help you. That's the commitment that when you came forth, there was an agreement that you would be supported. But it's a partnership, right? It's a partnership. It's a two-way gig. And yes, it's a little mysterious. And isn't that interesting and fun and magical? So it's all about learning how to attune in and to playing with it and to start to discover this other dimension to life, which, to be honest, is not encouraged in society and is completely left out of our upbringing for most of us, left out of the education system, completely devoid in the workplace and business setting for the majority of people. And yet, hello, soul is who you are. And hello, this is the nature of actual reality, people. We are not just living in a 3D reality. We are living in an energetic reality with many, 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 many dimensions that we can't see and that we can't touch and that are very real and that are all happening at one time and are not somewhere out there. They're right here. It's just that we don't see them. And if we're not attuned with our clear senses, our clear audience, then we don't hear them. But when we begin to get soul aligned and aligned to the spiritual nature of who we are, and we get spiritually connected beyond this dimension, we start to be able to receive this guidance more clearly, more frequently, and it becomes a really guiding force in our life, a loving guiding force in our life. So let me give you these amazing signs, examples of signs. If you want lots of them, you can, go on my YouTube channel. I've got videos about it. You can read my books. I give examples of it. And in the Soul Odyssey program, we have support around tuning into signs and all the goodness. But let me step back and share with you the short synopsis of why these signs are so mind-blowing before I tell you what they are. So last year, at the time of making this podcast, I was really getting my butt kicked by the unseen dimension to wake up and step up in my life. So I'd convinced myself I had done that, and I'd become a bit comfortable in my comfort zone without realizing it, and that I really was not owning up to my full potential. And through a series of spiritual quests and healing quests that I went on, I got shown really clearly, Spirit Unseen team showed me really clearly, you need to stand up and you need to treat yourself with dignity and honor and respect, and you need to own your space in the world and what you came here to do. And there's no more playing games now. There's no more messing around. It's now. And they told me it's time, and you're going to step up and expand yourself in your work. And for anyone who's in my community, you will know that in the last 6 months, I've made radical changes to do just that. And I did it with the courage of what I was shown with divine signs and synchronicities. It really helped me to know what I was being called to do, and that it was right and it was safe for me to do that and overcome the blocks that I had to do that. But in this quest, I got shown in a vision a peacock in full plumage with its beautiful feathers up. And this peacock was just so glorious. And they said to me from the other side, they said to me, put your glorious feathers up. And it's time to own your space. And so I've never forgotten that. And it was really, really beautiful. And on and off over the last 6-7 months, I've noticed peacock signs from time to time. But, just something here or there. And last week, I was really pushing the edges of my comfort zone with stepping into my fullness, right? So I've been expanding my business, doing things that I've never taken responsibility for doing, growing my marketing and my branding, and really understanding deeply how to do what I came into life to do. And it's stuff that I've avoided because it really wasn't stuff I was very good at, and I didn't feel very comfortable, and it was confusing to me, so I was kind of avoiding it. And as I started doing more of these tasks in my business, I noticed myself really getting uncomfortable. When you push the edges of your comfort zone, you start just getting this really icky feeling. Like for me, I get kind of like a hot flush feeling, and I get frustrated and I want to stop. And so you might have, something that you feel when you push the edges of the box you're living in or the comfort zone. And I was getting quite in a tizzy about this, right? So I'm pretty good at living consciously. I think I'm pretty well down the path. But I was getting in a right tizzy about it. I was getting lost in my mind about it. And that's when the signs started happening. So seemingly out of nowhere, in response to me getting uncomfortable at my edge and potentially right on the border of shrinking back, or at least getting in my own way, the signs started. So I asked before I was going to bed one night, I was saying, I'm really struggling with this and I just need to know how to kind of get forward. And I woke in the middle of the night at about 3 a.m. with 2 visions. The first vision was a dove, a white dove, and the second vision was the peacock. And it was the peacock with its beautiful plumage up, and it was all the feathers were moving, and it was just absolutely beautiful, glorious. And I knew I was being told to stand up and to understand that I needed to do this and have dignity and have self-respect and believe more in myself, basically. Put your feathers up. And so I thought, well, that was really wonderful. It was mind-blowing and I was loving it. But then there was another sign. So I went during this whole period of agreeing with myself and my unseen team to step up. I went and got a person to help me. So I hired a coach, an agency to support me in my business. And I went on Instagram like 2 days after that dream vision, and I was looking through my Instagram feed, and the woman who owns that agency had put a story on her Instagram, and it was just an image and it had no words, and it was just a peacock. It was a peacock in full plumage with all its feathers up. And the thing that was making me most uncomfortable about hitting the edge of my comfort zone and stepping up was the work I was doing with them. It was really pushing my boundaries about trying to understand parts of my business I'm not very good at. And it was a very clear sign for me, I'm in the right place, I'm with the right people, and this is exactly what I'm meant to be doing. When you hit the edges of your comfort zone, don't shrink back, right? So signs can come to help you overcome your challenges, confirm you're on the right path, mirror to you that you're having an issue and it's okay, and you can push through it, right? Give you love and empowerment to keep going. So that was really beautiful and another great reminder. But there was another layer to this, and it's this. There is another meaning for peacock, and I had not really tuned into this until this week. And the peacock, one of the words that it represents, one of the messages it sends us as a divine sign is honor. Okay, honoring ourselves, honoring who we are, honoring what we're here to do in life, our soul plan and purpose, living with honor. And I had not connected this meaning of peacock to what was going on in my life. But in the last 2 days, the word honor has shown up 3 times. Randomly, somebody started talking to me and talking all about the importance of honor and honoring your path. Someone sent me an astrology reading for what's going on planetary at the moment. And at the very end of the article, it said, it's time to honor who you are. And I woke up this morning humming a Justin Bieber song, the Holy song, and it talks about honoring yourself. Honoring. And it was like, okay, message loud and clear. Now, when you get signs and synchronicities, here is the important thing to know. They don't have to mean anything to anybody else. You might not think that my peacock signs and honor signs mean that much. They are blowing my freaking mind, and I feel high on life. Like I am bursting with joy and energy and confidence, and that is the whole point of signs. The point is this: when you get signs and synchronicities, and maybe you share them with your friends or your partner, and they're like, oh yeah, whatever. Then just remember, when they blow your mind, it's for a reason. When they make you feel like the divine is putting its arms around you, that's happening for a reason. And it's important to you, and it's meaningful to you, and it does not need to mean anything to anyone else. And PS footnote to that, if you want someone to vibe with about the awesomeness of your signs, I'm your lady. Because I will always get it, and I will always love it, and I will always support you in it. I could do podcast after podcast after podcast about signs and synchronicities and give you a million zillion examples, but we don't have time for that. So I'm just going to end by saying, pay close attention to the ways that life is unfolding when we're lost in the noise of our mind and our limiting beliefs and in our fears and doubts and our self-talk inside of ourselves, and we're lost in the humdrum of everyday life because we've got busy lives. We totally miss the magic. We miss the joy, we miss the awe and the wonder and the inspiration that is literally sparkling on your freaking path all the time. I won't stop telling you about it. I won't stop reminding you of it because I love you. Because we're both souls in here in life at the same time, connected in this way for a reason. If this has inspired you, I invite you to come over to my website, BernadetteLogue.com, Bernadette, Logue.com. Click on program. Come and check out the Soul Odyssey program. This is just one of a huge range of things that we cover to bring you into alignment with your soul for your life of purpose, fulfillment, and magic. I would love to welcome you in and see you there. Thank you for tuning in and listening, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next episode.
Thanks for listening to Practical Spirituality with Bea. I'll talk to you next episode for more spiritual advice for your everyday life, helping you align with your soul so you can live with purpose, fulfillment, and magic.